Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we are going to look at how to model a tree, a low poly tree in Maya. Alright, so let us see how this can be done. It's a very basic tutorial. So if you have done the dumbbell tutorial, this is the next step for you to learn a few more tools and create a little bit more complex object in Maya. Okay, so let us get started. The first step is to find a reference image. So in Google, you can search for low poly tree. And go to images. It's going to Yahoo. I hit Yahoo. So low poly tree images. Okay, so there are a lot of options for you to choose from. We want something which is not very complex and not very simple. So I found that tree a little bit down somewhere here. This one. Okay. So this is where I found it, and this is the one I'm using. So you can use any other one that you like, and you can challenge yourself. I think this is a very interesting one if you want to try. Maybe after doing the basic one, you can work on this one. This is also quite an interesting looking tree. All right. So the concepts are going to be same. So save that image, and then we'll go to File, New Scene. Don't save. Okay. So we are in the Maya interface. So I'll hit the space bar to see all the 4 viewports, and I'll go to the front viewport, make it big, and go to View, Image Plane, Import Image Plane. And then wherever you save that image, bring that image in. Okay, I'll hit the space bar, and in the perspective view, I will move that image back. Okay, so when we create, and then I will also move it up onto the ground, so the tree start from the grid. Okay, so we will be mostly working the front view, and I've chosen this tree because I want to work only in 2 axes. I'm not going to go in the back and in the front. It's just going to be extruded from the sideways. Okay, so we'll do step by step, not make things very complicated. So now we'll start with a cube. So a cube is created. All right, and then there is attribute editor on the right here. You may see a channel box. So click on attribute editor and go to the last option, which is Lambert. That is the default material for this cube, and we're going to add some transparency so we can see through the material. Okay, so we have I'm using the Alt and middle mouse button to zoom in, and then Alt and click to drag. Okay, and Alt and click and drag is to dolly the camera around. Okay, so this is our first step, is to create the cube, and then now we'll make the cube, scale it so it is long enough. I'll move it a slide down. Okay, so here. All right, now as you can see that the tree is having a particular shape, so we need more segments here or edges. So I'll right click, and then we have the vertex, which are these dots, and then the lines connecting these vertices are called edges. So if I select, right click, go to edge, then these are the edges. And if I right click and go to face, then this is the face, which is the plane connecting all the edges. So we'll go to edge, And I'm going to select like this. So the two are selected and two in the back are also selected. So if you look in the perspective view, you can see that all these four are selected here. Okay. And then you can go to edit mesh and connect, and one segment will be added. Okay. If I undo it, Control Z, and then I can also go to mesh tool and click on connect here. And now you can add multiple segments. Okay, so you can see that I have added multiple segments, and then you can slide them. So right now it is 0.5, so if you make it say 0.7, you can say it moved up. If I make it 0.3, it moves down. Okay, 0.5 is in the middle. The pinch is again 0.5, will make it move away from each other. Minus 0.5 will bring it closer together. So that's how the connect tool works. So this looks good. So I will hit the enter button and close it. Okay. So if I go to vertex tool, now I have more edges. So now I can sculpt this. So I'll select these, and now I'm going to scale it, and I'm going to click here and scale. So when we are scaling, we have to scale it in all the three axes. Okay, so it's scaling not just here, but it's also scaling in the side view. Okay, so you have to be careful with that and make sure that even though we are working in the front view, you should be able to scale in all the three axes. Okay, then once the scaling is done, then you can use the move tool and move things around. So this can come slightly this side, this can go on the left, this can also go in the left. Okay, so you get some shape there. Now we will be extruding this face up. So if you go to the perspective view and right click and go to face and select the top face. Okay, so I'm simply going to use the shift and move tool, and it is going to extrude. Okay, so I can now extrude from this side and extrude from this side. So let us select this side face. Okay, and I'm now going to spend some time here. So shift and move to extrude it here, and then I'll use the rotate tool and then move these vertices along that extrusion, and then I'll use shift and extrude it again here. And again, now there are two branches, so I'll shift and extrude one more time. Okay, so or I can then go down here. Okay, and then continue this branch, and then the other branch can be extruded here. Okay, so see how I'm not making a long one, I'm just making a short one, because you need to have squarish polygons. That helps later on in texture mapping. So it's important that you don't have longer polygons. Okay, and then the one thing I forgot was to scale them. So while modeling, you can also start scaling things around. Okay, so as things go ahead, things become narrower and narrower. So just use your judgment on what looks nice. So I lost the face now here. So I'll right click and go to face. So you can see that I'm moving between the face, edge and vertex to do my modeling. Right? So I'll again use the shift key and then drag it here. Okay, rotate it. This is what the steps should be, and then scale it. Then again click on move, and you can also use W, E and R shortcuts. For W is for move, E is for rotate, and R is for scale. Okay, so W, shift and scale. Okay, so that is done. Now we will extrude this face. So I will select that face there. Okay, and then shift, extrude it up, scale it down and extrude it up again. Okay, if you think it is too big, then it can be scaled from this side, it can be scaled from this side as well. Okay, so for this one again we'll go to vertex, and I can move this vertex a little closer here and make it shorter. Then hit the space bar and then go here and then right click and face and select this face. Okay, and then I can use the shift key and then extrude it again, scale it, W, shift and move. Okay, again we can extrude it here, rotate, scale, extrude, maybe scale a little, extrude, rotate, shift and move for extrude. Okay, one more time and then extrude it again. So now one branch is here, one branch is here. So again in the perspective view, this one, shift, extrude it here, scale it, rotate it. Okay, and then you can sculpt it a little different if you like. Again vertex, this vertex is too long, so we can make it narrow like that. Then we will move on to this one, which is right click, face, select this one, and then shift, move, and maybe scale a little, and shift again. Okay, then you can rotate it if you want and scale it, and that's about it. Okay, so this one looks like it's kind of thicker than the rest, so you can move things around. Actually we don't want to do it only on one side, so let us go to vertex, select these, scale in, that's fine. I think this is too big. So that looks nice. And then now if I select this in the perspective view, that is our tree. And then if you hit the 2 key on the keyboard or 3 key, you can see the smooth version of it. Okay, let us go to the material and remove our. Okay, now there are too many tweaks, so you can go to edit, delete by type, history, and now you get rid of all those, that information of changes you made. We'll get rid of the color and we'll make it brown this is the default material, so I'll right click and say assign new material, and then we'll just use a Lambert material. We'll name it trunk, tree trunk, and then we'll make it a brown color. Okay, and 6 will show you the smooth version of it. So now we have done the tree trunk. Now at the bottom, I'll go to face, select the bottom face, and I'll delete it. So it opens up. Okay, and the other thing is you can see that these faces are kind of pointy. Okay, so if you select this one, you can simply shift and move slightly, and then you get rid of that pointiness. So just add, shift and move. Or the other thing you can do is simply delete it, and that can remove that. The only thing is if you delete it, then you need to cover it up with this foliage. So this tree is going to be covered by foliage anyways, so we're not going to see those parts. Okay, so that's our trunk part. For the foliage, we will use this option. So it creates a sphere. That sphere can be big. Okay, and then simply Control D and copy it, scale it slightly smaller, Control D, and then put it here, scale it slightly smaller, Control D, this one here, and then we are moving it inside. Okay, make sure that it is inside. I'll scale it, then I'll Control D it and put this one here, so it will be much smaller. Okay, and then if you think it is not looking right, you can move things around. And I don't want the trees to go inside each other. These look same, so you can then rotate it at different angles. Okay, so they don't look even. And that's about it. Now we'll add colors to these. Make sure that none of these are going inside each other. Okay, and then select this one, right click, assign new material, Lambert, and this will be light green. So click on this, select a green color, maybe a little more yellowish. Shouldn't all the colors be seen? What, that is strange. Why it is this one is shown? Edit, delete by type history. Edit, delete by type history. 6. It is kind of strange what is happening. Something is wrong with that. Why it is not showing? Light green, Lambert, tree trunk, assign new material, Lambert, dark green. We'll add a dark green color to it. This is very strange. So I'll assign existing material dark green to this. I'll select and assign existing material light green to this, and I'll create a new material for this. Assign new material Lambert, and I will call this yellow green. Click on this, make it a yellow green color. Now everything is visible. For some reason why it was not visible is beyond me. I'll make it a little bit more yellowish. Okay, and then if you go to mesh, smooth, then we'll just say 1. So the trunk becomes smooth and then the trees are not smooth. Or you can leave it as not smooth for this also, make it 0. Okay, but I like that. Smooth tree and not smooth foliage. So that's how you model a tree. You can select the background, delete it, and save this file as tree. Thank you very much. Bye bye, and stay tuned for more tutorials to complete this 3D design course. Bye bye.